UMG is the best investment I've ever made. Thank you, UMG. Oh, hey everybody. Welcome to Internet Rewind News. I'm your host, Jake. Today's first story, we found the body of Jimmy Hoffa. Not a big story.
The adage says, you give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish, you give him, no.
Should I change the name of this series to With a Grain of Salt? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you've been lost on a desert island or maybe trapped in a basement with no access to Wi-Fi, you might not be aware of Twitch's problems this month. There's been quite a few of them. A woman by the name of Heather Effect was streaming on Twitch, breastfeeding her child while talking to some friend of hers or something, I don't know. But the thing that was really crazy was when the baby moved his head and revealed his mother's nipple. Mama had a nip slip during the show, and all her viewers got an extra show. Now, Twitch understandably removed the clip because it's nudity on a platform that doesn't allow nudity. Pretty sure you need special, licensing and stuff for that. Well, anyway, she complained when the clip was removed because it, quote, would do so much for normalizing breastfeeding. She went on to essentially say that it would be damaging for women who breastfeed their children to have this clip removed from the internet. She made the claim that her nipple showing on stream had nothing to do with sexuality or anything because it was about breastfeeding her child. And that makes it okay. But that's not true. The rules clearly state no nudity. It has nothing to do with sexuality. It's specifically the nudity aspect of nudity that makes it nudity. Point being, it's still against TOS. If a guy stands up wearing his boxers and his dong flaps out of the pee-pee hole, then you're still gonna get banned. Just because it wasn't sexual doesn't mean it didn't happen. If a woman in the background of a stream doesn't realize that there's a stream going on and takes off her pants or her shirt, they're gonna get a ban because it's still nudity. But it's not sexual, she's just getting changed. After a few days, she tweeted this victory tweet. We did it! Twitch just confirmed what we were saying all along. Breastfeeding is not sexual and it's not against TOS. Moral of the story, never back down for things that you truly believe in, regardless of the backlash you receive. You can make a difference. And she included this screenshot of an email she received from Twitch. It's a little long, so I'll read just the most important parts. As she so eloquently put it, breastfeeding is not lewd, and we agree with you. Twitch community guidelines will need to be updated to provide a level of transparency, which will take time, but I can assure you it's on the agenda. I hope that clears your mind of concern you did nothing wrong. Even though men aren't even allowed to have their shirts off on stream, this woman is allowed to because she had a baby there. She made sure in her victory tweet to note that Twitch basically took the blame. Twitch took the blame for her showing her nipple on stream and breaking TOS. Then said she didn't break TOS. That's mind-blowing to me. It's sincerely mind-blowing to me. She even seemingly shamed some people on Twitter for talking about her in a negative light because they didn't support her movement. And this is where I have a problem. She seems to have been looking for a problem. Why would you stream with your child in full view of your camera when you're streaming to a large audience, knowing that at any second, your nipple could pop out? Your nipple could pop out, knowing that that's against the rules. You could have cropped it differently. You could have worn a blanket like a lot of people do. Why is it that you feel the need to expose your breast in public to feed your child when you could just cover up? What is the concern? Are you scared your baby is going to be afraid of the dark when he gets older because you covered him up while you were breastfeeding him? However, some women don't agree with this wherever, whenever mentality that this woman has. Streamer Sylphie Star said on her channel,
I am not lactating, and even if I was lactating, I would not breastfeed on Twitch. I personally don't believe it's the time or the place to do that. What is breastfeeding? Breastfeeding is a time for me to not only nourish my child, but bond with my child. Not to use my child for content.
That was a wicked burn.
Look, I get it. You want your nipples to be free, but you can do that in privacy. Your nipple doesn't have to be on stream flying freer than Alinity's cat. Speaking of Alinity's cat, Ninja just yeeted Twitch out of his life like a cat that was interrupting his gameplay.
What the f*** don't you say to me, you little shit?
Ninja made a surprising move by signing an exclusive deal with Mixer. This seems to have been a major blow to the egos of Twitch staff, as they and many members of the community seem to have been very angry with Ninja, seemingly feeling that he owed Twitch for making his career. Even though you could argue that Ninja had quite a large following before Twitch, and actually, arguably, he himself brought Twitch a lot of attention, like a mutually beneficial relationship, if you know what I mean. But still, some people are going as far as to say he owes his success to the platform. However, like I said, for that to be the case, he would have had to not already been successful before the platform. He was already a pro gamer and a YouTuber before the Twitch success happened. So if anything, he just was amplified by the platform. Now, Twitch may not have anyone that's even close to hitting Ninja's stats, but that doesn't mean they're losing their viewer base. Remember PewDiePie and his 90 million sub following? Well, he went to DLive, and that's not even close to what he's got. Ninja on Twitch had like 1/7 the following of PewDiePie on YouTube. Do you really think 14 million people are going to leave Twitch because of one blue patch of pubes? Anyway, Mixer is owned by Microsoft, and with the new Halo coming out soon, and Ninja's roots being in pro Halo gaming, it wouldn't be a surprise if this was part of a push to make Halo a more of a competitive game. Ninja said he wants to get back to his roots, which was in Halo. Halo is a classic game, and there's another classic game that's trying to get back to its roots. Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty seems to be going back to an older formula for their upcoming title, Modern Warfare, which is basically a reboot of the series. And with all the gameplay and trailers they've been releasing, it's starting to drop some moist gamer undies. It seems to go back to the old 3 standard kill streak system, and looks like it's more gritty and real, while also being more simple than the current Black Ops system. Now, the kill streaks are actually what's catching the attention in this case, though. People are complaining specifically about the white phosphorus kill streak in the new one. Why? Because
fucking nerds being dickheads.
Bad Stejo, that's mean. Although, you're kind of right, I guess. But it's so much more than that. The complaint is about a game where the whole purpose is killing the enemy soldiers. And the argument is that it's using a method that's too brutal. I mean, we're talking about a game series that in like the last 9 iterations has allowed you to use dogs to eat your opponent, radiation to slowly poison them, or even nukes. And they're all as skills or perks. I mean, the main aspect of the game is to shoot, knife, or explode your enemy to death. This is the stupidest thing you could possibly complain about. Speaking of the stupidest thing, I made a video before about the Rewired Soul, and in that video I continuously said I thought he may have had the best of intentions. After uploading that video, almost every little thing I saw from Chris ended up being either hypocritical or blatant misinformation. Chris has this crazy ability where he can speculate wildly, and then just proceed with his day as if what he just said had any factual basis whatsoever. He somewhat recently took an absence from the internet because of the harassment he was receiving, and also he realized he was lying to himself about what he was really doing on the internet, that being making drama content.
To the drama creators, I want to start off by saying I fully understand why you have made your content. And I am not going to argue that, or I'm not going to complain about that, because that would make me a hypocrite. I have done the exact same thing.
However, now he has released a book about when he was canceled. If you're not familiar, I will link to the just released Nicholas Diorio video in the description below, as well as my own video about Chris's statements about SoCal Jesus. Chris, you pretty much admitted to all the things you were accused of, aside from the semantics around your credentials. Qualifications, whatever. The point is, what gives you the right to give anyone any information about their own mental health?
Do you look at yourself as more of an entertainer or as an educator?
Todd Grant is absolutely right. Like, I'm just a guy.
In what way are you qualified?
I'm just a guy.
Is he a victim, or did he do the things he was criticized for? I don't know. He seems to have admitted to a lot of them. Would he say he was both a victim and guilty of doing them? Most likely, you're familiar with the false accusation fiasco surrounding IMAlex and Slazo, and many more. The brief overview is that a former girlfriend of Slazo's made false accusations against him that were later proven to be false. IMAlex, along with others in their friend group, did what they could to destroy Slazo's career in the name of these allegations. Once Slazo set the record straight with a video and some interviews, Alex and others, they decided to either stay silent or double down and just resist apologizing or setting the record straight at all, leaving their audiences polarized against Slazo as an abusive, possibly pedophilic YouTuber. A large number of community members stood against IMAlex and company in this situation, with a focus on trying to get IMAlex to apologize, given his large audience. However, they all resisted apologizing and continued this charade that they weren't wrong. Chris has tried to take the situation and flip it into a bunch of neckbeards attacking IMAlex and company for defending a victim. He's claiming that IMAlex is a victim of cancel culture, even though IMAlex and friends were the ones trying to weaponize cancel culture against Slazo. Honestly, at this point, I'm starting to think he just plays contrarian. He already knows that if he's going to have a hot take like this, people are going to criticize him for it. So why would he do it? I'll bet you his audience thinks it's to rebel against the haters. Alex and friends tried to get someone canceled for false allegations. They set the standard for how this played out. They're the ones that started the canceling. By people pushing back against that, that's not cancel culture. That's anti-cancel culture, if anything. Chris using this whole situation to make Alex a victim is just annoying. But Chris using this whole thing to make a comparison to himself and sell more copies of his book? That's just disgusting. The truth about Chris is he has a history of twisting facts and speculating to make his videos. I don't know about you, but personally, I don't think speculating about somebody that you think has mental health issues is a good idea. You know, like if you have anxiety or depression and you go on the internet and someone is spewing out, oh, this person has anxiety, this is why they do this, and this is why they're such a destructive person, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that sounds like the kind of thing that would trigger somebody's anxiety. Doesn't it? I wonder if maybe Chris specifically is doing more damage than good compared to people that are just criticizing people's behavior. Because Chris is actually making assumptions about people's actual personalities. Chris seems to be only using Alex's name to further sell his book. In Nick's video, he actually took the time to very clearly lay out exactly how much Chris has been pushing his book under other people's names. It's really kind of disgusting. Probably wouldn't be so bad if he had his facts right at least, but he doesn't. The fact is that he's lying and twisting the situation to make Alex into a victim, when Alex was part of the group that started the whole thing in trying to get rid of Slazo. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to check out the Speaking Goodly podcast, link in the description. And thanks for watching. Like it if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.